Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. I'm Drawing with Mr. S, and I'm bringing you episode 3 of my world building challenge. If you missed the first 2 episodes, I highly suggest you go back and listen to those, as the story is just going to continue and more lore is going to drop as the story progresses. On April 10th, I'll be doing a community redraw where I had my subscribers submit in some chimera art, and instead of doing 3, I decided to do 4. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I took one of those chimera drawings from April 10th video and I'm using it in this episode. Alright, so that means one lucky subscriber's community redraw is going to come just a couple weeks early. Alright guys, so without further ado, hope you enjoy this episode, Navigating the Unknown. Ruku sets off north within the borders of the land of elves in search of the birdfolk pirate from his vision. Ruku traveled for weeks on foot following his instincts. Came across many creatures native to the land. He spotted birds with majestic wings that commanded the wind, boars with powerful tusks taking down fearsome wolves, frogs that croaked a melody that would inspire a bard, and many more magnificent fauna. While traveling to a destination yet unknown to him, Ruku would train in the arcane arts using his magic tome. He tried using the Infernal Violet spell that he cast on the owlbear, but the spell had disappeared from his tome. Magic tomes only provide the spellcaster with spells at their current level. For some reason, he was back to being a level 2 mage, according to the spells available. He did not let this discourage him and put more effort into his training. By the time he reached the city of Melanal, Ruku was able to cast spells up to level 5. In the port city of Melanal, Ruku was able to find merchants to trade items he had acquired from the creatures he defeated for crafted potions and coins. He began asking around for any information he could find about a birdfolk pirate. With some luck, a woman at the local pub was able to provide Ruku with details of a retired pirate who became a fisherman. Ruku had a strong vision during the exchange and knew immediately that this was the hero he was after. Ruku headed to a nearby field surrounded by wild grass that overlooked the mountainous barrier surrounding the land of orcs. Ruku spotted a hut on the field and continued moving closer towards it. His mind was racing, wondering what he would say when he came face to face with the hero of legend. Hello? Is there anyone there? As the entrance to the hut opened, Ruku was greeted by a birdfolk man dressed in a purple tunic and bandana. His pants were adorned with an unusual pattern that caught Ruku's eye. He stared at the pattern for a moment and then moved his gaze to meet his, and then his mind began flooding with memories. Ruku saw this birdfolk man as clear as day, laughing and embracing him. The two were surrounded by 5 figureless images. It was clear to Ruku that these were the other heroes he was searching for. Greetings, traveler! I am Salal. What brings you to my hut? Greetings, Salal. My name is Ruku. I know this is going to sound weird, but I had a vision of you. A vision of me? Oh, do pray tell. Yes, I know it sounds strange, but you and I are part of an old Wanayan legend and prophecy. Have you ever heard of the 7 legendary heroes of Wanana? Have you had a little bit too much to drink, my friend? I know nothing about these 7 you speak of. I am but a simple fisherman now. My adventuring days are behind me. You don't understand. The legend states that the 7 heroes created a magic barrier surrounding the borders of the land of monsters. That barrier that protects Wanana is weakening, Salal. It is up to us and the other heroes to fortify the barrier and protect the world. This all sounds wonderful, my friend, but I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Wait, you don't get it. No, you don't get it. I'm doing my best to remain polite now. If you'll excuse me, I have very important business to attend down by the port. Salal, the monsters will be coming. We need to join forces and gather the others. Ruku didn't know where this confidence was coming from. Maybe it stemmed from all the training he had been doing. Maybe he started to full-heartedly believe in his quest. Or maybe it was just something else entirely. I guess I didn't make myself clear. Salal snapped his fingers and a pistol appeared in each hand. This was equipment magic. A magic that no mage in this era possessed. It is a powerful magic art where the user can stash away weapons and armor in a pocket dimension and call them back when needed. Ruku began backing away slowly. His eyes didn't break from Salal's. Then Salal broke contact and looked across the field. A giant beast was flying towards them. Ruku turned to see a giant chimera. It was part canary and part red panda, a pandanary. When it landed, it was at least 30 feet in height. It had an orange bird-like head, black and red fur covering most of its body, and massive yellow wings on its back. The Pandanary created a roar that sent Ruku and Salal rolling across the field. I've set sail many a times across the sea, and never have I witnessed a monster so fearsome. Do you believe me now? The barrier is weakening, and we must stop these monsters from destroying Wanana. It's not the time for I told you so's. The Pandanary slung its paws at Ruku and Salal. The two were tossed across the field, rolling to the ground until they came to a complete stop. Any ideas on how we stop this monster? I'm just learning as I go. You're what? We just have to create an opening and strike. Oh, I don't strike, my friend. I shoot. Salal used his two pistols to shoot at the Pandanary. The bullets did little to no damage to the monster. Instead, the Pandanary was enraged and roared even louder. Salal dug his talons into the earth to hold his ground. This time, he was successful at not being blasted away. If bullets don't work, how about a different type of firepower? Ruku, holding his magic tome, began channeling magic into his right index finger. He aimed his finger at the Pandanary and shouted, "Starlight!" A bolt of flame was shot from his finger that only enraged the monster further. Salal, with his keen eyes, noticed that there was a burn mark on the chest of the beast. Ruku, I need you to keep him busy. Can you do that? Ruku felt an all too familiar feeling overtaking his body. He began surging with power as his magic tome began to glow. You know I can, Salal. As Ruku's words sunk in, Salal shook the overwhelming feeling that he and Ruku had shared the battlefield together before. He withdrew his pistols into his personal pocket dimension and called forth his favorite weapon, the Buster Cannon. The Buster Cannon was nearly the size of Salal. He swung it over his left shoulder and steadied his shot. Once he felt confident, Salal began charging the Buster Cannon with his mana. Mana is the natural magic residing within all life. Ruku began running towards the Pandanary. Ruku jumped high into the air and began propelling himself towards the monster at great speeds by shooting flames from his feet. Once he got close enough, Ruku readied his next spell. Flaming Fist! Fire surrounded Ruku's fist and he launched a jab right at the beast's face. The Pandanary began to stumble. It flapped its wings and Ruku lost control of his flight. Ruku began falling but quickly used another Flaming Fist attack to soften his landing. I'm almost ready, Ruku. Just a little bit longer. Ruku smiled at the monster and shot it with a barrage of starlight spells. The Pandanary tried to stomp Ruku, but Ruku rolled out of the way. Ruku used a fire breath spell, but the Chimera evaded. Ruku looked over at Salal and knew it was time for the final attack. Ruku ran towards Salal and quickly zigzagged across the field as the Pandanary tried to swipe its claws and stomp its feet at Ruku. Now, Ruku! The Pandanary lifted its mighty foot to stomp Ruku, who stopped moving. Ruku's magic tome revealed a new spell. Ruku raised his hands up towards the stomping foot and shouted, Blazing Orange! Quickly, an orange barrier of flame surrounded and protected Ruku. The Pandanary's foot contacted the flame and burned its foot. While this was occurring, Salal readied his Buster Cannon aimed at the Chimera and shouted, Kraken Buster! A giant, powerful cannonball covered in violet energy released from the Buster Cannon. The cannonball collided with the Pandanary's chest with a big bang. The Pandanary fell and began to disappear, leaving behind a few items. Both Salal and Ruku dropped down to the ground from exhaustion. They looked at each other and smiled. Did you have a feeling like we have done this before, Ruku? I did. I can't explain it, but it feels like we fought side by side for a long time. I agree. Maybe I was wrong to turn away your offer, my friend. I think I'll take you up on your offer now. I can't have monsters like this terrorizing the citizens of Wanana. Ruku was about to say something, but he noticed the golden compass next to him in the grass. Oh, that's my compass. I've had it for as long as I can remember. It has a special power, Ruku. It can guide me to my heart's desire. I've seen this in my vision before. Ruku went to grab it and was immediately hit by another vision. This time, it was of a red swirling image trying to get into focus. The only distinguishable feature of this image was a tattoo on the right arm. When Ruku regained focus, he noticed the compass pointing east. Did you have one of those visions, Ruku? Yes, and it looks like your compass is telling us to go east. If I know anything about this compass, it always leads me into adventure. We best be ready and rested before we head into the land of orcs. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please show this video some love by clicking on the like button and commenting your favorite character so far in this world building challenge. Are you enjoying the main character Ruku? What about Orm, Professor Thanalos, or our newly introduced character Salal? Like I mentioned earlier in the video, April 10th will be the release date of my community redraw where I'll be taking subscriber chimeras like Pandanary and redrawing them for my world building series. Want to stay in the know or show off your art? How about joining the S Squad Discord? Linked in the description below. As always, I'm Drawing with Mr. S, and I'll see you all in the next video. Y'all take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Bye-bye.